This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you. Kentucky mornings start right here on WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Meredith Jones. I'll be filling in this morning, and I'm pretty lucky to be here with you guys.
Good to have you here. And it's Wednesday, April 27th, Hump Day.
That's right.
We have a lot going on this morning. Now at 6:30, a robbery suspect did not get the rough treatment that he might have expected at a Lexington bar after what went on. How employees foiled his plans coming up this morning.
And it was a heated school board meeting in Knox County. We'll tell you why some board members walked out.
And Jordan Smith planning a concert in Lexington. We'll have details on when you can see and hear the Harlan County native now known around the country.
We have the showers outside in our viewing area, but a few thunderstorms sparking up back toward the 65 corridor. We'll see if it has enough energy to make its way into our western zones here within the next hour or two. Storms again later on today. I'm going to go over the timing on that coming up in just a few minutes.
And we'll see you then. Let's get to the news.
All right, well, new this morning, a man is in jail after a fight at a Lexington karaoke bar.
And thanks to some quick-thinking employees, things did not get out of hand, despite that man having a gun with him at the time. WKYT's Mark Barber has been talking with police. He's joining us live from Lane Allen Road with new details on this that happened in the middle of the night. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. In the past 5 minutes, investigators identified the man who is now charged with first-degree robbery as Dorian Webb. We have learned that the man is in his 30s, but aside from that, we're not able to get any other information on him because he is still being booked and processed into the Fayette County Detention Center. Now, earlier this morning, police say that a bartender here at the karaoke bar on Lane Allen Road diffused a very dangerous situation when she was able to talk the armed man down. Police say that he was robbing a tip jar and he started putting a gun away, and that's when the DJ here tackled him. Investigators describe it as an intense situation because the bar was busy, the man was armed, and police think Webb was also drunk. It happened around 3 this morning at Mac's Karaoke Bar on Lane Allen Road. Employees were closing the bar for the night when they realized one of their customers was slipping money out of the DJ's tip jar and into his own pockets. The thief was armed with a gun and a knife, according to police. Employees did not know what was going to happen next, so they calmly helped a pregnant woman leave the bar.
Once I saw the weapon pulled from his waistband, and I knew right then and there that this could not end well.
Despite those fears, it did end well. That DJ says he tackled the man once he saw him putting the gun back into his waistband. And again, investigators just in the last few minutes telling us that a man with the last name of Webb is now in the Fayette County Detention Center charged with first-degree robbery. Again, at this point, we don't have any other information for him because he's still being processed into the system. Of course, we'll continue to follow this throughout the day and bring you any updates as they become available right here on WKYT and on our website, WKYT.com. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, thank you, Mark. Well, more controversy in Knox County this morning where the Board of Education is split on whether the superintendent's contract should be renewed.
Last month, the board voted 3-2 not to keep Kelly Sprinkles as superintendent beyond June 30th, with former chair Dexter Smith resigning last week among allegations that he had someone else take his GED for him. The 2 board members in favor of Sprinkles motioned to re-vote on the contract last night. After a 2-2 vote, the 2 voting for Sprinkles demanded an explanation from the 2 members who voted against him.
We just gave this young man an evaluation. We had 1 board member that abstained from that evaluation. Now, if you cannot evaluate this young man, why are you going to vote to destroy his career?
By law, the Knox County School Board must have at least 3 votes in favor of a motion for it to pass. Because of that, the Kentucky Education Commissioner has quickly started the process to appoint a new member. The 2 members who voted against renewing Sprinkles' contract, Board Member Vicki Gray and Vice Chairman Merrill Smith, refused to explain their decision before walking out of last night's meeting.
It could soon cost more to get a college education in Kentucky. The state's colleges and universities are reviewing newly approved tuition increases. The news comes on the heels of an intense legislative session that brought a lawsuit against the governor. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner is live on the UK campus to break down the details.
Good morning, Meredith. We're starting to see a little bit more activity on campus at this hour, and those students we're seeing right here on the University of Kentucky campus are among students statewide who could see a tuition increase. Now, just because state regulators have approved up to a $500 increase per year for tuition doesn't mean it'll happen necessarily. It's up to those individual colleges and universities to decide what that tuition hike will look like if they do decide to impose one. News of potential tuition increases comes after an intense legislative session. Governor Bevin, in his first year, cut millions in state spending on colleges and universities. Some Democratic state lawmakers still aren't pleased with cuts in the two-year operating budget. A state judge has ruled 3 Democratic lawmakers can join a lawsuit filed by Attorney General Andy Beshear seeking to stop the governor from cutting spending on colleges and universities. Now, right now, Governor Bevin is overseas, but his spokeswoman says that won't prevent him from vetoing anything on that state's two-year budget. He has until midnight tonight for those vetoes. Live in Lexington, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
Thank you, Caitlin. A battle over a Kentucky tax incentive for a religious theme park featuring Noah's Ark has ended in a win for the big boat. A state tourism board approved a sales tax rebate incentive worth about $18 million for the Ark Encounter attraction in Grant County. Now, 2 years ago, under former Governor Steve Beshear, Kentucky withdrew the project from the incentive program, saying that giving money to the biblically themed attraction would be funding religious indoctrination. Now, the Christian group behind the Ark won a federal court ruling in January that said it could get the tax incentive despite the park's religious theme. Republican Governor Matt Bevin, who took office in December, declined to appeal the ruling.
The time this morning is 6:37 here on WKYT. Investigators say they now know why a woman fell to her death last month at Raven Run in Lexington. According to the city's accident report, Katie Stewart fell after leaving a marked trail to get a closer look at some animals. The director of Parks and Recreation tells us that Stewart was more than 100 feet past a do not cross sign. The report does mention putting up railings and barriers in the park, but it also points out that barriers would decrease Raven Run's natural integrity. New on WKYT this morning, a man was arrested after an overnight break-in at a Lexington home. This story just coming in happened about 2:30 this morning on North Martin Luther King Boulevard near 2nd Street. Police say someone in the home called to say that a man was beating on a window trying to get in. That window was broken when the police got there. They took the suspect to jail. His name and charges have not yet been released.
And the weather is being blamed on an overnight crash in Lexington. Police say strong winds knocked over a tree on Military Pike near the Fayette-Woodford County line. Now, at some point, a driver crashed into that tree. He was not hurt. The tree has since been moved and the road is back open. Also new on WKYT this morning, wet roads may have caused a young driver to crash into a fire hydrant in Lexington. Police say the driver lost control while turning from Yellowstone Parkway onto Winter Garden. The car took out a light pole, street sign, and a hydrant, and no one was hurt. You want to stay up to date on weather and road closures by downloading the WKYT weather app plus traffic.
All right, some scattered areas to do some cleanup certainly today. Well, the CDC says a new report has some alarming findings about the risk of HIV being spread through drug use. After nearly 200 HIV cases were diagnosed in one southern Indiana community, the CDC conducted a vulnerability assessment of counties most at risk of rapid HIV spread through people who inject drugs. Of the top 220 counties listed in the report, 54 of them are here in Kentucky. Wolfe County is ranked number 1. Breathitt, Perry, and Clay counties were all also in the top 5. The CDC based the rankings on the number of drug overdoses, unemployment, and opioid sales, among some other factors. Certainly a disturbing trend.
Well, on a different note, we know he will be a guest at the star-studded Barnstable Brown Derby Eve Gala next month. And this morning, we've learned Jordan Smith is planning a concert in Lexington.
The Herald Leader reporting that the Harlan County native has been tapped by the Troubadour Concert Series to perform at the Lyric Theater in June. The concert will be Smith's first in Lexington since winning season 9 of The Voice. Smith released his debut album, Something Beautiful, back in March. Ticket information on Smith's June 16th show has not yet been released, but I know a lot of folks will be eager to hear him in person.
Oh, I'm one of those.
Okay.
Well,
Great voice, huh?
He does. Let's check in to see how traffic is moving this morning.
Here's Officer Don with our check on live drive traffic. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Well, we cleared the problem on the inner loop of Man-O-War at Parker's Mill. That crash is out of the way, so no problems getting through there. Inbound Versailles Road from Woodford County is steady. We have some wet roads to deal with this morning, maybe some cleanup, but no major issues popping up as we get a live look at Lexington traffic flow as it's happening at this moment. As far as drive times go, you should be okay on the way in from Versailles. That's about 11 minutes. Looking at 20 minutes from Winchester, and from Richmond, 30 minutes on I-75. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you so much. Officer Don and Deanna on 98.1 The Bull. When you get in your car, you can tune them in, you know, and ride along in the rain showers, I guess, this morning. That's
Safely.
Yeah, that's exactly. Be safe, take your umbrella. Hey, a lot more news coming up. 6:41 now on WKYT This Morning.
Some feathers are being ruffled in one community because of a pesky problem. Details on a rooster ruckus that has police getting involved.
And we have some thunderstorms back toward our west, and you can see those popping up just north of Bowling Green. Those are heading eastbound. Will those stay together, and do we have much more west of that? I'm going to have that in your forecast coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We have some showers outside right now, and some of these are pretty heavy downpours. For the most part, it's just some light rain flying across the region. But I do want to show you one area that we need to watch very closely, and that area is back toward north of Bowling Green. This area right through here. There is a boundary, obviously, right through here that these showers and thunderstorms are sparking up right along that and moving eastbound. We're getting some heavy downpours coming in through Bourbon County and now making their way across the 64 corridor here in just a few minutes. So it's going to be a wet go at it if you're going from Lexington to Moorhead. No doubt about it, very wet. But if you're going from Lexington to Frankfort back toward Louisville, and also Shelbyville, Simpsonville, where the outlet malls are, there's not really much going on. It's pretty calm, pretty quiet. But what we need to be watching out for is that little complex. It's going to be rolling through here within the next hour for our far western areas. That's Marion County, that's Taylor County. Heads up in just about an hour to an hour and a half. You can see those storms roll on in. Obviously, the big focus is back toward the west. We still have plenty of time before the actual severe weather threat rolls through later on today. Now, still wet roadways in many locations, so you just got to keep that in mind as you're traveling early this morning. Some fog in the valley areas back toward Breathitt County. Beautiful shot out of Jackson there in Breathitt County. Temperatures are in the 60s. I actually put down my windows as I traveled off into work earlier this morning. As long as you're not under the rain, it actually feels really nice. And this particular model is doing a very good job on what's going on right now. As you can still see some of those showers back toward the east and also down toward the south with a few rumbles of thunder. So confidence in this model is pretty high. Let's watch this. Let's go through the noontime hour. And still at lunch, I'm not seeing much of an issue of showers and thunderstorms. There will be about a 30-40% chance at that time. But it's really later on that afternoon we pick up about a 40 to 50% chance during the afternoon hours at about 4 p.m. You can see not everybody's seeing it. So you will get breaks today, trying to knock out some plans, but still some thunderstorms are expected. Then watch this. We get off into the evening and night. Here comes those rumbles of thunder. This is your severe weather threat, but remember, it's the low end, much like what we saw yesterday, is what we're going to be seeing today, and that takes you off into anywhere from 9 p.m. to about midnight. That's probably your best bet at actually seeing the strong to potentially an isolated severe cell roll on through. Damaging winds. Hail will be the main threats as it travels on through. Tomorrow morning, waking up with mostly dry conditions, can't rule out a couple of showers, and then we'll start to spark up a few more showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder. But tomorrow, I don't expect a severe weather threat as we're getting the back edge of this as it pushes on through. All in all, I'd say ½ an inch to about 1.5 inches. Additionally to what we picked up yesterday, some of us had one storm after another, picked up 1 to 2 inches yesterday. Those were very isolated spots, but nonetheless, guys, what we're going to be dealing with, very heavy downpours within the next couple of days. Heavy downpours, a lot of lightning. We talked about that yesterday, how it was going to keep a few of us up late last night, and it did. And you know what? We'll do it all over again tonight. It looks like. Unfortunately, with those rumbles of thunder as they pass on through, it's not going to be your garbage truck at 10 p.m. All right? But we are going to be seeing some of those thunderstorms as they pack a punch.
That's what it sounded like, right?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me. I thought my husband was moving the garbage can back, and it wasn't.
It really sounds like that, those rumbles of thunder. Yeah. But it's kind of good sleepy weather for some people. Some people actually like that.
It rumbles on and on. You think, surely you can get it around that fast, right?
You're like, just get the garbage can out to the end of the road.
Yeah, so everybody can get some sleep. All right. Micah, thank you. Our time is 6:48. There are people in Georgetown that wish they could get some sleep because they're fed up with roosters that are on the loose in their neighborhood. The problem is it's occurring across Norcross, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta.
Yeah, neighbors say flocks roam around like gangs going from yard to yard. Chicken droppings are also causing health concerns there. The problem is so bad that officers are actually asking people to call 911 and report loose chickens.
Myself and the other officers have gone out on rooster patrol. I mean, it's very hard to catch a rooster.
Roosters are actually illegal in that county, and violators can be fined up to $1,000.
Yeah, tell that to the roosters, right?
Exactly.
They are on the run. They're ruling the roost there for sure. All right, 6:49 on WKYT on your Wednesday morning. It's Hump Day, everybody. Good to have you along. We have a lot going on. Our top stories on the way.
That's right. We'll have more news when we return.
Coming up, severe storms with hail and possible tornadoes slam parts of the plains in the Midwest. We're assessing the damage in the hardest hit areas. Plus, a first look at a new device promising to revolutionize your morning routine. More real news coming up on CBS This Morning, next.
The time is 6:52. Still to come.
A lot more this morning. CBS This Morning is on the way. Dyson reveals a new device promising to revolutionize your morning routine. That story and a lot more coming up at 7 on CBS This Morning, right here, where we now know the name of a man accused of pulling out a gun on bar employees at a karaoke bar in the overnight hours during a theft.
That's right. Just minutes ago, police identified Dorian Webb as a suspect in a robbery at Mac's Karaoke Bar. Now, he is being booked into the Fayette County Detention Center as we speak. Police say Webb pulled a gun after being confronted by employees about stealing money from a tip jar. Now, once they convinced Webb to lower the gun, the DJ at the bar says he tackled Webb. Others jumped in and held the man down until police arrived.
A judge has ruled 3 Democratic state representatives in the House can join a lawsuit against Governor Matt Bevin. The lawsuit seeks to stop him from cutting spending on state colleges and universities from the current year budget. Attorney General Andy Beshear filed the lawsuit saying the governor does not have the authority to do that. And Representatives Jim Wayne, Mary Lou Marzian, and Darrell Owens later asked if they could join the suit. A hearing on the lawsuit is to be held a week from today. And former Governor Steve Beshear is planning to hold a news conference later this morning. Beshear has not said exactly what he will be talking about. Now, that's his son there. You see Andy Beshear, the Attorney General. Last week, though, Governor Beshear said that he might respond after Governor Bevin hired a private law firm to investigate reports of wrongdoing in the Beshear administration, including claims of no-bid contracts to help friends. We'll be there today and see what former Governor Beshear has to say at 10 o'clock in Frankfort. We'll be on the air with mid-morning at that time. And for up-to-the-minute coverage as well, check out WKYT.com and download the WKYT News app.
Meanwhile, the 2016 presidential candidates are turning their attention to Indiana's primary next week following critical primaries in 5 Northeast states. Donald Trump declared himself the presumptive GOP nominee yesterday after beating rivals Ted Cruz and John Kasich in Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. Democrat Hillary Clinton defeated rival Bernie Sanders in 4 of those states, putting her even closer to clinching the party's nomination. And parts of the Great Plains are bracing for yet another round of severe weather. Torrential hail and rain hammered Kansas and Oklahoma yesterday. Forecasters say the atmosphere today could trigger tornadoes.
Our time this morning, 6:55. Right now on WKYT.com, weather calming down after some loud thunderstorms rolled through overnight. Micah says we'll see more showers and storms over the next couple of days. Check our website for your forecast and complete weather coverage. Our most viewed story right now, a change on the Lexington restaurant scene. Coba Casino on Richmond Road has closed. Our story tells why the owner said after 3 years in business, it was simply losing too much money to keep the doors open. Hundreds of people in Lexington's Meadowthorpe neighborhood have signed a petition, and many are speaking out against the company's plan to build a transfer station for garbage trucks nearby. There's a hearing set for Friday that all sides are expected to attend. All right, we're going to be watching this very closely today. Kentucky women's coach Matthew Mitchell will be holding a news conference this afternoon. Many are asking why so many are leaving the program right now. Kentucky.com has more on that. We'll have coverage throughout the day on air and online. And CBS This Morning is coming up at 7 with your eye opener and a look at where things stand in the presidential race after Tuesday's primaries, plus our local updates. Join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and for the latest anytime, WKYT.com.
Yeah, we have some showers outside. Some of these are pretty heavy downpours, especially as you work your way through Sharpsburg right now. As you travel up Highway 11 heading up toward Flemingsburg, that's pretty heavy downpours. Also, Owingsville, Salt Lake, you're going to be next in line. Lakeview Heights at 64 corridor from Bath to Rowan. It's going to be pretty wet early this morning. And look, most of your activity comes late in the afternoon, off into the evening hours again, but you can't rule out that rain chance as we head throughout the day, too. You will get breaks. You can get out and do some things, but for the most part, it's late in the day once again.
All right. Take your umbrella.
That's right.
All right. Nobody's more up to date than you to start your day. Thank you so much for being with us on WKYT.
CBS This Morning is next.